If you haven't had an opportunity to watch the Game of Thrones Season 4 finale, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. The episode tonight was called The Children, and we're going to actually start with the children. This is the last and final podcast, so we're going to probably take a little bit longer to talk about it, because this is it. Bran, Hodor, Jojen, Mira, they all arrive at the White Oak Tree. When they arrive at the White Oak Tree, you notice that there's something, I guess you could say, something different, man. There's snow on the ground, and the color palette for this is a little bit brighter for Game of Thrones. It's bright. It's kind of funny looking, you know? And I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it was kind of a change of I guess you can say scenery, a change of this dark, you know, this dark color palette inside of Game of Thrones, man. Everything was bright when you got around the tree. You know, it was nice light. There was sunshine. And then before you can, you know, arrive to your destination, you know, where Bran needs to go to meet the Three-Eyed Crow, all of a sudden, man, darkness falls, and there's these hands start coming out the ground. At first, I thought they were zombies. I was like, what? I was like, so now, you know, Game of Thrones already had like ice walkers that were zombies, like The Walking Dead on ice. Well, now they have, you know, actual zombies coming from the ground, man. And it wasn't. It was these spinal killer instinct, you know, skeletons. They rose out from the ground, they grab their victim, and then they come up and they start killing you. Now, check this out. They come up with full armor. So if you ever watched, like, Lord of the Rings, and you remember the army that was in Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, it's kind of like that, except they're not ghosts. So they, I guess maybe Army of Darkness. That's kind of a better, that's kind of a better comparison. It's like Army of Darkness. They rise up, they're skeletons, they have full battle rattle on as far as, like, weapons, shields, armor, helmets. It was just crazy, man. But their bones, though, it's all old and dusty, and you know they have flesh hanging from them, and it's just absolutely insane what was there. All of a sudden, man, you know, this is the season finale, so they're going out with a bang, man. Jojen and Mira, man. Jojen gets grabbed first, okay? Mira runs up to him. I thought Jojen's legs were going to get ripped off because, you know, the skeletons are so powerful. Mira runs up. She tries to help her brother. All of a sudden, like, you know, 4 more skeletons rise up from the ground, man. You know, obviously, you know, Hodor is with Bran. Bran can't do anything because he doesn't have any working legs. But what Bran can do is use the power of Hodor. By the power of Hodor! Hodor. And that's what happens, man. Hodor, you know, gets taken by Bran. And then you have this Hodor vision, and Bran is now in Hodor. And that's where Hodor is at the absolute best, man. Like, he starts destroying these cats, snapping these skeletons in half. Just literally, like, breaking them into 2. Mira, she finally gets her brother free. But he's hurt. He's hurt, and then what ends up happening, man, is that all of a sudden this fireball out of nowhere comes, and you're like, what is off? I was like, first off, I was like, okay, maybe Bran has, like, you know, some type of new powers or something, or maybe he used, you know, some of his other powers to kind of call on somebody else, man. And this huge explosion, boom, two explosions, boom, boom, and then all of a sudden you see the skeletons, they start falling, people start running. Mira's holding her brother Jojen. Hodor is still Bran, but Hodor's trying to go help Jojen. Jojen yells out to Bran, save yourself, stop, save yourself. He doesn't listen, man, and that's where the fireball comes, and it destroys 2 skeletons that are behind Bran. Bran releases Hodor. They turn around and kind of look over at where these fireballs came from, and there's this little girl. This little girl has, like, literally, I guess you can say it's like fire and ice powers. She throws out this fireball. She throws out this blue light, looks like ice, and she's like, quickly, hurry, get inside or whatever, you know. And they're like, who are you? And she's like, no time for that, get inside. So they start running. Before they can run, man, you know, Hodor grabs Bran. They start running inside. Mira and Jojen are left behind, and something. I don't know how this happens. I think it was Jojen that took the possession, or possessed the spirit of the skeleton and actually stabbed himself and sacrificed himself. It just looked like that. And the reason why I said that, because like the skeleton was broken in half. How the hell did the hand get up and start stabbing Jojen? It stabbed Jojen in the chest, man. Jojen's dead. Mira starts crying. Mira finally, gets the strength to kind of carry on. She gets up, she runs, and they run into the cave. As soon as they enter the cave, there's skeletons chasing after them. There's like 4 or 5 skeletons. 2 of them get exploded, by the powers of the girl. And then after that, the other skeletons that run inside the cave to chase after them, they blow up into bits, man. Like all their, the skeletons kind of like, their bodies fall apart, and they break into pieces. This is kind of like the magical aspect and the magic of Game of Thrones. I think that's what we're into now. We're in like the age of magic, I guess you can say. Bran goes inside, and then after that he meets, I guess you can say, like the human form of the three-eyed raven. And the three-eyed raven is this old guy. Looks kind of like a mixture between Gandalf, Saruman, Raiden, and I guess you could say almost like Shang's son a little bit. It's kind of like that, like mixture, man. He's like this old wisdom-looking dude, man. He is the three-eyed raven, but I guess his form is the form that is most comfortable to human beings, if that kind of makes sense. He's only going to present himself in such a way that people of this realm can understand, I guess you can say. And Bran, crawls over to him, and then he kind of explains some stuff. He says, "No, I'm not going to give you back your legs. You won't walk again, but you will fly." Don't know what that means. Maybe Bran's going to turn into a raven and fly away. Maybe he'll die. I don't know. Maybe he'll go to heaven. Maybe he'll go into the 9 realms. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on, but it was just crazy. Now, the girl that has all these powers, she finally explains who she is, and they call themselves the Children. The Children have been around for a very long time, born long, long before anyone else was here and before everyone else in the realm. So I guess they're like, 9,000 years old, billion years old or whatever. Like they're the first children of the earth, of the realm, and they're here now. But it's so scary and terrifying because this girl is creepy. It's absolutely creepy. She's like dirty, creepy. She's young. I can't really explain it, but it's that serious, man. That's all they give us, man, as far as for Bran's story. And Hodor is still alive. Mira's still alive. Jojen is dead. There's these, like I said, the Children are here. They're like the old ancestors of the realm. And then the three-eyed raven is actually here. So that kind of sums up everything that was seen in there. And we don't know anything about the skeletons. We don't know anything about that yet. But I guess they're trying to fight against, the Children. So anyway, guys, we're out of here. Thanks again for listening. And that is it, man.